Hello, everybody. Welcome to Planet Holistic. I'm Todd Schaefer. With me, as always, is
Kira Schaefer.
And today we have a awesome guest. I really can't imagine how we had a harmonious community before we had Suzanne Harmony. Suzanne, welcome to the podcast. How are you today?
I am fine. Thank you, Todd and Kira. Thanks.
And incidentally, she has a sparkling personality. It's everything you would have expected with the name Harmony.
Yes.
You know?
Yep. Thank you.
She is a darling. She's precious.
A darling. A very positive person. Great comments in the community. Very supportive. And she has published books on her own prior to As You Wish Publishing, which is also really exciting. So we got a veteran author here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Suzanne, tell us about the solo book that you are working on as an As You Wish solo author.
I am so excited to be part of the As You Wish authors because you two are amazing. This book will be I'm going to call it a companion rather than a workbook because I don't want to put people to work, but I would like them to grow from this. The title is WTF. Not what you think it is. It stands for Willing to Forgive. And I know all about that.
Yes. So who is it that you are going to help with this book? What is it? Who are you wanting to reach out to here?
Wow, that's an excellent question. I think we all have someone somewhere who's maybe offended us. The level of offense doesn't make you a winner. This is not a competition anybody wants to win at. However, forgiveness of self is so key to recovery, not just becoming triumphant over tragedy, really recovering. And like yoga or meditation, it takes practice and it's an attitude and a dedication. Yet the rewards are so fulfilling. And so with this companion, I will guide people to get there.
And do you feel like sharing where did this come from? You decided that you wanted to be a Reiki master teacher, right? Along the way throughout your path to give this love and connection to so many people. Do you feel like sharing kind of, your experience with Willing to Forgive?
Absolutely. I wrote a book about it. So on my 19th birthday, my then ex-boyfriend wanted to own me. And so he turned a friendly dinner date for my birthday into rape and impregnated me and threatened to kill me and everyone and anyone that I knew if I told the truth. And I share that and the details of it and how to, over the years, forgive myself for being so innocent in a sense, but so gullible, so hopeful for friendship, even though we couldn't be more than that. And so did I forgive right away? No. Part of getting away was to dislike him.
Right.
A lot. And he made that quite easy. And so, and when I'm asked, why did you stay? Like most people who suffer any kind of abuse, whether it be verbal, physical, mental, emotional, sexual, all of that, we always think it's the last time. And my belief growing up in the kindness and goodness of mankind helped me to stay. And then I realized that the world has opposites as well. And I met the devil in that person. And to save myself and my children, I had to leave. Unfortunately, in the time that I stayed, while I was delivering our twins, and he was nowhere to be found, and our son died at birth, that evening he took advantage of our 22-month-old daughter. And that was the no way, man, we're out of here point. Right. Unfortunately, I was away and couldn't help her.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So forgiveness is amazing. And to forgive myself along the way. I had migraines for years, and that's what brought me to become a Reiki master, was to treat myself with anything other than medication so I could be a good mom and present for them. And wow, that opened so many doors of wonderful opportunities and healing for myself and so many others. And a huge part of that is this is a God job to forgive that person. In the meantime, I'll forgive myself for the mistakes I made.
Wow, Whew. Yeah, so you know a little bit about forgiveness and and how to release and let go and what it takes to do that. So you have absolute authority in this regard to write this book.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Suzanne.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people misunderstand forgiveness. And I would love to hear more of your take on what you think it means. And I'll lead you by saying some people think that forgiving means, well, you forgive, but you don't forget, that kind of thing. And other people think that forgiveness, I mean, I'm just giving a couple examples. There's lots of examples. Other people think that forgiveness means seeing the other person and yourself as innocent, like it never even happened, kind of thing, in a way of meaning. So
not denying,
not denying it, but just focusing on the fact that we're innocent, that kind of thing.
I love that description, and I believe that so many people have those opinions and ideas, and I think maybe that's sometimes where they struggle. And so I would say perhaps mercy, have mercy on yourself, and for me, what allowed me to get past that, because I watched Oprah and I saw people on her show have testimonies about how their life was so much better because they forgave and actually visited the men in jail who killed their child or things like that. And I thought, I want to feel that way. I want to do that. And I did what I thought I did, and I would pray and forgive him, but I couldn't forget. And only when I forgave myself, when I became peaceful with myself, and I looked at what I had accomplished in that time, and I remained true to myself in the idea that no matter what happens to me, I'm going to be the best parent for these children. And what a blessing that Chad, my son, kind of left me with 2 children under 2 instead of 3 to take off, to leave, get on a Greyhound bus and go. And so I would say mercy, feeling not judgmental at all, but just giving yourself permission to grow from that event rather than hang on in anger, resentment, or blame. That keeps you in a victim soul, and it's hard to grow as a victim. Only when you thrive and recover, this way that I will teach it allows people to take baby steps to recovery. And I don't know that you would have a support group, because sometimes that keeps you in that funk, in that state of mind. But turn the pages and get through it. And then you have your companion for whenever, if ever, you need to follow up again.
I love it. Awesome.
Thank you.
You just blow me away with your wisdom and your insight. And I just want to hear you talk.
This is an important topic, so I'm really trying to think of the right things.
Yeah.
You know? So,
yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. If I could share with you at one television interview, if you look on YouTube and Google my name, or I Catch a Star, they'll come up. And one gentleman in particular, who's an icon of the news channel here in our community, he threw that question at me, why did you stay? And so I answered it as that, like everyone, you think that time is the last time and it'll stop. And I want to believe in the goodness of all people. And of course, as a young, naive, pregnant wife now, I figured I could save him. I could help him. We're all God's children, so to speak. And then when the unspeakable happened and the unbelievable, then I really need to accept the opposite. And so this interviewer said, wow, he must have had quite a life. And he left it at that, kind of feeling sorry for this person. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of went, whew, and I took a breath, and then he went on to other questions. And near the end, though, I'm so proud of myself that I came back to that. And I threw it back at him. And I said, you asked, what kind of life did he have, or he must have had. And I said, this is really good to presume that all people who hurt people have been hurt. But this person hadn't. He was just sick. And he was very loved and supported. And there is no excuse for any kind of mistreatment of any person, any being, even our great earth. It's really time for people to own their behaviors. And we're all born of light, and to shine that light and to remain bright no matter what.
So it sounds like forgiveness has to do with taking responsibility.
Oh, absolutely. Awareness, accountability, acceptance, action. Mm-hmm.
What I'm also kind of garnering from what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that the first primary person to benefit from practicing forgiveness is yourself.
Absolutely, 100%. And I always felt it was selfish to think of myself. And then I thought, I am all that these children have, and I'm all that I can be for me. Yes, I better fix me.
Yeah.
So I did.
I'm going to ask one loaded question. And, well, actually, yes, I'm going to ask this loaded question. So the people who are the predators, or the people who are the attackers, is there redemption for them?
Well, here's a good answer, actually, because this is the truth. And so this monster of a man who never got to see his daughters again, who had their names tattooed in a heart on his chest, I believe he was forgiven or given another chance or a challenge, because he met another woman later in life and had another daughter. And I thought, that's a God job. That's a big one. And all I could do was pray for that child. And yes, I had the authorities be aware of this little person's name. And if she showed up at Emerge, maybe they should look further than maybe a broken arm or something. So I believe there is redemption. And I believe, and I want to believe, that he turned out okay, and that he was given another chance, and that he's raised an okay child, and that he has a great wife who loves him for who he could have been and who he turned out to be. And everybody wins, right? I feel good about that.
Yeah.
I think there's so much power in forgiveness that's completely untapped. I think your book can really help to shed light on it, through your stories. I mean, forgiveness is just incredible. It's not about tolerating other people's behavior.
Absolutely not. And it's not about judgment.
Right.
You're not judging yourself or others.
Right. I mean, it goes beyond altercations. It's forgiving oneself for anything that's happened, and for believing that there was any part of us that could possibly have been unlovable.
You are absolutely right. I was going to say that love yourself enough to heal yourself, and heal yourself through that, having mercy on yourself, accepting, our mistakes are how we grow. And if you have something that's worthy of sharing so others cannot have such a bumpy ride, or things worse could have happened, then that's good. Then share it. If it's going to make this world a better place, absolutely. And in doing so, I hear myself say, write, and think everything that I put on paper.